Hello guys and girls, welcome back to the Racing Line for another circuit guide here on the channel. This is week 7 of Season 2 2022 in the GT4 Falken Tyre Challenge with me once again driving the Aston Martin Vantage GT4. This week's circuit we are around Road America, a beautiful circuit, a long lap time as well, and the date and time is set to the 30th of April 2022 at 12 o'clock in the afternoon to match the official race time sent out on the Season 2 PDF. Same format as before, breakdown lap followed by a full speed uninterrupted lap followed by an offboard lap, and as usual this is filmed before the week has begun, so it's difficult to compare lap times. Of course we're using the sprint setup as it is a fixed series, but let's see if we can help you guys find some time around this quite fun with some difficult corners long lap of Road America. Here we go then. So you've got a nice long straight to start off with, slipstream heavy, heading down to actually the deceivingly fast right-hander, 90-degree right-hander of turn 1. So keep it to the left-hand side. You want to spot your braking zone carefully. It's in between the 4 and the 3 cones on the left. Much like Summit Point, it uses cones. You want to brake initially quite hard down into 4th gear, get it turned in, and then get straight back on that power. You want to try and carry the speed in 4th through that first corner. Now the second braking zone for turn 2 is a little bit trickier to spot. The number 2 board is all the way over there on the left-hand side. It's just past this break in the wall, and you need to try and guess where it is as you get on hard on the brakes down to 3rd gear, and then similarly coast in towards that apex, and then accelerate out nice and smoothly, and away you go. You now got a nice long straight before you have to think about the next tricky section of the track. Again, this will be very slipstream heavy. This will be your main overtaking point as it's a real big heavy braking zone into this next left-hander, which is sharper than 90 degrees. Just past the number 3 board, you can see that first tree. That's our braking zone. We're going to be hard on the brakes from 6th down into 3rd gear. We come right over across the curb to open up the corner and then smoothly apply the power as it's easy to lose the rear end through that left-hander. Up the hill you go now, and another tricky corner at the end of the radical boards on the right hand side. Just as you pass that final one, you're going to be hard on the brakes and down to 3rd, coast in, and again smoothly apply that power. Don't try and run too wide on the exit as there's grass there. You're going to lift off a little bit in 4th just to get the nose into this fast right hander and then get straight back on the power. Just a slight lift, and then we've got another 90-degree corner coming up. It's in between the 3 and the 2 board. That telephone post or the light post, whatever that is on the right hand side, is the braking zone. Hard on the brakes down into 3rd gear. Again smoothly on that power. You can see working that steering wheel as it gets quite tricky through these corners. Now this is the time, the money corner where all the time is. You can see we just lift off slightly, and I'm looking ever so closely at how the grass comes away from the track, just feathering the throttle, holding it tight, come out to around the middle, and now from this midpoint we want to be flat out all the way through this final part, way before the curb. You need to get the power on as early as you can, but you also need to trust that the car isn't going to run too wide on the exit. So it's a tricky balance to find. A slight lift here in 5th gear. You can see there we had to take two stabs at that lift to make sure that we got the turn in. Because if you go on that grass, then it's very difficult to save at high speed, but a fun corner nonetheless. Another heavy braking zone coming up at the number 4 board on the left-hand side. Keep it on the left, brake in a straight line, hard on the brakes, down through the gears from 6th down into 3rd gear again, coast in and smoothly apply the power on exit. Again, that rear end gets a little bit light. In 4th gear now, you can see as we turn into this, it's just a slight lift. That's the lightest lift we've had as we go up into 5th gear on the exit. This braking zone's hard to spot. In between the 3 and the 2 board, there's no real marker in between there. You just have to keep your eye out because they're all the way over there in the distance. Down into 3rd gear, take a nice wide entry into that final corner, and again smoothly apply the power on the exit. But you need to get on there as soon as you can, because as we said at the start of the lap, you got this nice long uphill straight, which was a potential overtaking zone for you in the race. Obviously, if you can't get it done, just use it to slipstream to your opponent and overtake them on the next straight. Let's go full speed uninterrupted now, so no stops. We're looking for the 4 and the 3 cones in between, down into 4th gear, hard on those brakes, get it turned in, coast it in, and then straight back on that power. No smoothly applying there, straight back on it. Wait for the break in the wall. Just past that, you'll see the number 2 board. Hard on the brakes, down into 3rd gear, get it chucked in. Again, smoothly apply the power on this one because you don't want to run too wide there as we go up into 4th gear on the exit, up into 5th. We're going to reach 6th gear on this straight. You can slowly bring it over to the right-hand side of the circuit unless you're defending, in which case you want to keep it on the left for this corner down here. Now, looking for the number 3 board. The tree just past it, hard on the brakes, down the gears into third, coasting in, smoothly applying that power until we feel comfortable on the exit. You can use all that curb on the exit. Red boards on the right, hard on the brakes, down to third, get it turned in, smoothly apply the power, and away you go. Over to the left-hand side as soon as you can, up into fourth. Quick lift off to get the nose in, and then straight back on that power as you come through that fast right-hander. Down the hill now, and we're looking for the light post in between the 3 and the 2. Hard on the brakes, down into third gear, get it turned in. You can see we trail braked in towards the apex and then got straight back on that power. Up into fourth, over to the left, get it turned in, slight lift off. Full lift off there just to make sure that we're not carrying too much speed, and then straight back on the power at that midpoint. You can see the arm cove barrier on the right there as a good marker of when you should be flat out on the exit. Now, fifth gear, slight lift into this bit. You can see a big lift, and then we had to full lift as we thought we were going to understeer off, but we kept the speed going. And that's really important for this braking zone, as this can be another overtaking zone for you. Looking for the number 4 board on the left, hard on the brakes, down through the gears, down into third, get it turned in, trail braking in, coast in, and then put straight back on that power. That's not really a smooth one. We pretty much went flat out. Now, look at the tiny lift that we got there, just to make sure that we didn't run too wide as we went up into fifth gear, in between the 3 and the 2 on the left-hand side, down into third gear, nice wide entry, straight back on that power, being confident that we're not going to run too wide on the exit. And that is a lap of Road America for a 2:16.4, 2 minutes 16. It's a tricky one to get right, but once you get used to it, you're going to have bundles of fun, and I'm sure the racing is going to be incredible this week. Well, I hope your races are incredible this week. As usual, that is pretty much it from me. I'm going to leave you with this offboard lap. Don't forget to keep those likes and comments coming in, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if I don't see you on track this week, then I'll see you next week for the next video here on The Racing Line. Peace!